Hi everybody, welcome to our course ESOL 6503 Practicum with English Language Learners. This course is basically a field-based experience where we will be learning some new techniques and practicing some techniques that you learned in SIOP. You can see my contact information there if you ever have a comment or question or need to get a hold of me. There's my cell phone and my email. If you haven't already gotten your textbook, make sure that you do that as soon as possible, and you can see the textbook information there. We'll be using the Larson Freeman book, but we'll be using the SIOP as a review. So if you don't have the SIOP book, you need to make sure that you can get one, borrow one, whatever you need to do so you can review that. This is just a quick syllabus orientation. You'll want to make sure that you go back and read the syllabus in its entirety so there's no surprises or questions. But you can see our course objectives here and then our unit goals. The unit goals are the same for every course and the same for every course in the School of Education. Here's a list of the course requirements. Of course, the attendance participation is extremely important in an online course, and I really believe that we learn from each other. So we want to make sure that we're participating in all the forums and the Adobe Connects and that sort of thing. We have a lot of expertise right here in this with the participants in this course, so I really do want you to learn from each other, and that's worth 20% of your grade. Make sure that you have the correct technology, and this is really important in this course especially because we'll be sharing some videos with each other and so forth. So make sure you have a good internet, you have a microphone and webcam. You'll need to record yourself, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. You'll need something like Dropbox, maybe YouTube. If you're out of town, I may need to Skype you. You may want to use QuickTime for your recording, so we'll get into that later, but just be aware that you'll need some technology. We'll also utilize our Focus X2I, which you have as part of your course fees. On to assignments, all written assignments through Moodle, and that's just like any other course. The next assignment is a site visit using SIOP. I'll come out and visit you teaching twice, and I love doing this. This is my favorite part of teaching, is getting to come and see you in your classroom and see you implementing some of the techniques that we've learned, and also just learning from you and seeing what you're doing. The first time I'll come out, I'll just kind of get to know you, know your teaching style and so on. I'll still use a SIOP form when I'm observing, and then I'll come again towards the end of the course and do the same kind of thing. There'll be a Google Doc where you can sign up for times for me to come. The big assignment in this course is a teacher work sample, and it's really broken down into 4 parts. You'll do a unit lesson plan, which will consist of at least 3 days of lessons, and then we'll look at different criterion for your classroom. We'll look at the contextual information and your learning environment. Then we'll look at the instructional design and implementation of your lesson. And then you'll, for criterion 3, reflect on student learning and on your teaching. So those will all be due at different times, but together will be 35% of your course grade. Then you'll do a videotaped lesson and self-assessment. You'll, in your classroom, videotape a lesson, and then you'll use the SIOP form and assess yourself and see how you think you're doing on the features of SIOP. We'll then share that with one of your peers, one of your colleagues in this course, and we'll conference with them, or you'll conference with them to get their feedback. I know this is a part of the course that people are always like, oh, I hate doing this, but I really do think that it helps you reflect and helps you become a better teacher when you're giving each other feedback. And then finally, at the end of the course, we'll do a TESOL standards paper, and using the Domain 5 professionalism, you'll indicate how you're meeting the standards under that domain. The next section of the syllabus is the class schedule and assignments. So if you ever wonder what's coming up, you can always go back to the syllabus and look. And it's organized by the weekly topics, the objectives, the readings that you'll be doing, and then the questions and the assignments. So I've included this schedule for the entire course here. Again, if you wonder what's coming up and that sort of thing. Each week has that same format. And then you can also look and see when upcoming assignments are due. I have all the major assignments and requirements here, and you can see the due dates for all of those. Things are always due by midnight of the day that's listed. Actually, I guess 11:59 p.m. of the day that it's listed. Finally, the course policies and guidelines. We use Times New Roman font, 12 point, APA style on the more formal papers of the 6th edition. Of course, honesty policy, that's not a problem, except sometimes we forget to cite our sources in our research. So if that's ever the case, just make sure that you're citing your sources. Late work policy, I always say the easiest thing is just not to have any late work, and that takes care of this. But if you do have late work, it is 10% off for each day that it's late. And after the 3rd day, it's not worth any credit. You can still turn it in, but it will just give you feedback on it and so on. If you do have some major thing that is preventing you from submitting on time, though, please let me know and I can work with you, but I need to know in advance. If you want to access your papers, just let me know. Usually you can just get on Moodle and access them that way, but if you can't, let me know and I keep them for about a year. If you have any needs for accommodation, make sure that you contact the Kresge Academic Support Center, and there's the contact information for that. I don't know that you'd need any tutoring in this particular course, but you might on your writing. And so we have an online tutoring called Smart Thinking, and you can submit papers and they will give you feedback on that. You need to plan ahead and submit them in advance, but that is a really good tool for you to take advantage of. And finally, we have the Maybe Library and Learning Commons. Grad students sometimes forget about the library, but we have great librarians that will help you online, give you lots of information, and please access the library for any research needs that you might have. TaskStream, you'll upload your teacher work sample into TaskStream. I need to grade it through Moodle and TaskStream so we can collect the data. I think all of you probably used TaskStream previously, so if you forget though what your password is and that sort of thing, Janelle Hoffpower can help you with that, and there's her contact information. And finally, during week 7 or 8, I'll have a link for a course evaluation. Please make sure that you fill that out. I really do look at those and try to make the course better for next time. So I really appreciate you taking the time to do that. Finally, we've included the Kansas Educator Code of Conduct. The State Department has asked that we just put that in all of our syllabi, just to remind us about being professional educators. At the end of the syllabus, then, we just have references, and you can look through those. I hope that we have a great course. I look forward to working with all of you. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please contact me. Thank you so much for listening, and let's get started.